Now we're back for more F1 Manager. First and foremost, if you have not seen the last round at Baku, go watch, because history was made. It was by far and beyond the best episode we've had on this game so far, and I'm kind of giving it away, but trust me, it was so damn good. But we're going to jump into another episode here today and see if we can have another decent weekend. So leave a like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's get into the action. Now today we're racing at Canada. We have a chance of rain in qualifying, but dry Friday and dry Sunday. 33% chance of a safety car, and we'll see what happens. It should be a fun weekend, and hopefully we can try and keep our point scoring streak running. Upgrade time though, let's talk about them. Now the car is unchanged from Baku, however, we do have upgrades on the way. We have 2 upgrades in the next 15 days, and then underfloor a bit further down the line, but nothing for this weekend. Hopefully for the next race, especially the one after that, we should be a lot more competitive. I said it before and I'll say it again, these 3 are intense, and these 3 will decide and dictate how we kind of develop this season, whether we push on and try to keep improving or turn our focus to next year, maybe somewhere down the line. But yeah, let's get into the weekend's prep and get things underway. So for this weekend's targets, we have guaranteed P15 qualifying position and also reach Q2. I'm not going to guarantee a fastest lap as I'm not too confident we'll achieve it, and we currently have an active qualifying streak. So yeah, P15 and above pretty much throughout the entire weekend, and we're looking at some bonus money. So let's get into it. Now just an update after Friday's running. So Hamilton has a grid penalty, so does Zhou Guanyu. Currently last place, however, looking pretty okay on pace on the medium tyre, also considering we're using the worn engine. So far you can see we have 14 out of 15, both drivers almost at maximum confidence on setup, so hopefully we'll achieve 100% heading to FP3.
Car was great.
Copy that, understood.
Not ideal. I had optimal 97. Looks like that's the best we're going to get with Sebastian. Let's see what Alonso has to say. Okay, 97. It was 97 before with Fernando, so practice finished. Kevin Magnussen also has a grid penalty now to add to the other cars. Also worth noting, he's P2, which is very surprising. Bottas P4, Ricciardo P6, quite a mixed up grid here. And yeah, further down, Hamilton with the penalty as we saw before. We're in last place, both drivers on 97% setup confidence. That's the best we're going to get. Still, it's not really a concern. We've got maximum performance bonus and some pretty decent scores all around. So let's get into qualifying, let's see what happens. We have rain forecast, and that could be very spicy. So, session underway. 5 minutes until rain arrives. So we're going to send both our boys out and waste little to no time and get things underway. We're currently on a 2 flying lap run, so let's see if we can get through. I've also replaced their components on the engine, so we should have maximum power available, and you can see it just went dark all of a sudden there, so this could happen pretty quickly, so these laps are going to be key. Right then, let's see, traffic wise, looks like both drivers will be okay. No, Seb got helped by Bottas, never mind, as Alonso takes P1 for now. Sebastian 3.4 off, which is that pretty much the time he lost, really. Quite a big chunk. And rain is about to start falling here, so Sebastian is going to go for his second lap. He's going to clear Bottas, which is good. Hopefully this time he clears Leclerc. Alonso is stuck behind Ocon. And the rain is already falling here, so drivers that haven't set a time yet could be in trouble. So no more rain forecast by the looks of it for Q1 at least. And you can see we have the dry track in 4 minutes. So there could be some final runs here on dry tyres yet to decide qualifying. So with 3.5 minutes to go, the track is still 1.5 on the damp level. Okay, track has dipped below 1. Everybody on to start their lap now. I've kept Alonso in the garage. I'm going to take a chance and hope he'll be okay. Seb will have to improve because that lap where he got blocked wasn't ideal. Track still isn't fully dry, 0.87. Seb will get the best track conditions to start his lap. So here we go. Final lap time. And never mind, we've missed the line. Missed it by 2 seconds. I went out with 150. Okay, we're safe. We got away with it there. No one's improving. The track has actually just finished or has got stuck at 0.6. So both cars through. We avoid a bit of a late scare, which is good. So into Q2 then, comfortably P4 and P8 in a very strange Q1 session. Looks like no more rain forecast, at least not for Q2, so I'm going to guess if we were to get into Q3, probably no more rain as well. So dry from this point on. We have the set of tyres in Q1 as well, which is good. Well then, let's see what the first laps are in Q2. Sebastian on a slightly more used soft tyre from that previous Q1 out lap. Alonso purple in sector 2 up to the line. Alonso P2, Sebastian P6. Very encouraging pace from Fernando. Very interesting so far. Right, so this time we've got our timings correct. Let's go with Sebastian then. Let's actually enjoy this lap this time. Alonso P7, Seb P13. 3/10 difference between them. Seb on a slightly more used tyre. This time they're both on fresh. So we should see their best laps of qualifying so far on a single flyer. Checkered flag drops. So let's see what happens. Alonso looking very good though for a Q3 appearance. Can we get Sebastian to Q3? Bottas sets his lap. P4 continuing his good pace. Gasly sets the new benchmark for the Alpine team. Very impressive. 6/10 quicker than Ocon. Russell does not improve. Let's see. Alonso currently looking good to be safe here. Car's improving, but not enough. Alonso up to the line. Does improve. No, he doesn't. But Sebastian does get in. And that is both cars into Q3. Fantastic. Well, that feels good. For the first time this season, we have both cars in Q3. Again, no upgrades this weekend, but we're strong and the momentum continues. Sebastian has been strong this weekend so far and only about a 10th, if not less than a 10th off Alonso's pace all weekend. And that is very encouraging to see. Leclerc setting the benchmark in Q2. As for us, I think we could battle for P6. Ricciardo is less than a 10th away, so let's see if we can try and achieve that in Q3. So both of our cars currently starting a lap. They're both going to hit traffic, especially Sebastian. He's been absolutely rinsed. So this isn't going to be the best banker. Luckily it's a used set of tyres, it's not a fresh set. Alonso's going to just about avoid being held by Gasly there. Seb will also clear the Alpine. Across the line, Alonso quickest for now. Sebastian 7/10 adrift due to traffic issues. Sebastian is out of fuel. I just noticed, for some reason, he didn't go into the pits. Well, that was completely out of my control. Something happened there. Sebastian didn't come in on his end lap for some reason. No idea why. I'm convinced it said heading to garage. He was on a single flying lap. I'd done nothing different, nothing strange. But for some reason he set out for an extra in lap and that's cost him. So we're down to one car. Well then, here we go. 30 seconds left on the clock as we get the final qualifying lap underway with Fernando. As we're unfortunately down to one car. Sainz will improve, so Seb will finish P10, which is a real shame. But let's see what Fernando can do. Can he find a bit of magic, like in Baku, and try to get a decent result? It was P7 last time out in qualifying in Baku. Can we go one better and possibly break into the top 6? Checkered flag drops. First lap times coming in now. Perez does not improve. Leclerc does improve. Gasly does not improve. Bottas up to P3. Ricciardo up to P4. Sainz also moves up. So does Hamilton. Lots of movement. Ocon there in P4 as well. At qualifying Gasly. Well, let's see. Big margin here. A lot of time to find. Does Alonso have any magic? Left in him across the line. Not quite. P9. But a very competitive field though. Very close. So Q3 is officially done. Alonso kind of dropped the ball a bit. Went slower in Q3 than Q2. If you look at the lap times, his Q2 lap would have actually been good enough to get P8, which is a shame. Top 7, kind of out of the picture, really out of the question, a bit too fast for us. But yeah, overall, I'm not going to complain. Both cars in Q3 is a step in the right direction, so very happy with that. Just a shame we didn't maximise Q3 there. Partly my fault. Well, I'll say that, not really, just some sort of bug. Either way, Perez on pole, out of nowhere, Leclerc second, and Bottas in P3. Now then, strategy-wise for this race, we're going to go for the two-stop. The pit lane is very short here at Canada, and we're going to go aggressive. It worked well in Baku, and the two-stop historically has always been the better option here. So, Sebastian, the benefit of having his Q3 ruined by a bug is that he saved an extra set of soft tyres. So he has 2 fresh sets of softs compared to Alonso's 1. So we're going to basically match them up on strategy with those kind of tyre deficiencies. So Seb will get the benefit of 2 soft tyres. Alonso will have the 1. But 2-stop, medium, soft, soft, medium, medium, soft. Alonso will box earlier than Seb to kind of get the undercut going and that way not clash on strategy. But yeah, both drivers on for a pretty exciting strategy this race, and it should be good fun. So let's get into it and let's see what happens.
We have beautiful blue skies overhead as the drivers line up on the grid. Looking here at Fernando Alonso. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalise on it? And for the second driver, it's Sebastian Vettel. They're in the front half of the pack, so there's plenty of potential for them. The teams are ready to go. This is it. We're moments away now at the Canadian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Underway then, here in Canada. Alonso P8, Seb P10. So decent start from Fernando getting the jump on Lewis, of course, who had that grid penalty. Seb now getting past Hamilton here by the looks of it. Lovely stuff.
That's it.
Everybody on mediums except for Ricciardo, who's opted for the soft tire to start with. So important here, just like in Baku, to make sure
Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
we stay in the DRS. That's the main thing, especially because there's 3 DRS zones here, so that's very, very key. So we'll use battery accordingly to make sure we stay within a second of the cars ahead. I feel like the race pace was pretty strong in Baku last time out, and I want to be positive and say the pace looks pretty strong this weekend so far. And it's important that we do try and be strong, because Bottas being in P3 is a bit of an issue. Ocon also up there, Ricciardo as well, Gasly, P7. You know, there's points being scored by the other rival teams around us. So I want to try and make sure we also bag some points of our own. Hamilton currently not quite able to keep up. Verstappen putting pressure on. Russell also looking for a move. Schumacher up to P14, excellent start from him. Good to see Norris down in P16, that's going to help us out. But it does look like Hamilton's running a worn engine, the same engine as Baku, by the looks of it already. So DRS enabled, early door, Sebastian just struggling to keep up, so we've just got him using a little bit of energy, or use a bit of energy with Sebastian to try and catch back up. Alonso looking very strong so far. So it looks like Seb's won that pace is pretty good, but his race pace so far isn't that great. At the minute, this is a battle for the win, by the way. As Seb sets a new fastest lap. Everyone just in one big, massive train. So this race is wide open. Strategy will be key in this one.
Now here we see Max Verstappen.
Seb without DRS, Verstappen just sends it around the outside. Pretty easy going.
Car in normal. Okay.
Oh my god.
No DRS.
Okay, Leclerc backwards.
Copy.
Now this opens up the strategy for the race. Virtual safety car. Do we take a cheap pit stop? Could this be the way to go? Essentially get one of our stops out the way early. So here's the incident. Under braking.
A definite collision there. That's very unfortunate.
Hefty shunt for the Ferrari man. So I've chosen to stay out. I'm just using this as a chance to just recharge, save a bit of fuel, bit of tyres, and especially with Sebastian, a bit of battery. So playing the long game here. Alonso comfortably P7 right now. Verstappen looks very quick, so he may well pass, which I don't entirely mind. But yeah, we're just kind of recharging everything, and we'll just keep pushing. We're competitive, we're in the race, so no need to panic. Bottas also 1.1 away from Perez now, which could be interesting. Right then, back on the way, green flag. Let's see if we can try and stay competitive and stay in the race. Very important here that we try and keep it going. Alonso just losing DRS on Gasly, which isn't good, but I've set both drivers to push on fuel to kind of counteract the slow restart. Hopefully we can fight our way back. Looks like Verstappen does go through, which is fine. Valtteri Bottas is leading, which is mental. We don't really want this, so hopefully something happens, but we saw Verstappen there, ran the outside, same move as the one he pulled on Sebastian. Just trying to stay in the race here, so using the fuel. Alonso out of the DRS range. Let's see if he catches back up. No, Sebastian actually goes through on him. Okay, we're back in. Alonso also overtaking Sebastian. We used a big chunk of battery there. But new fastest up of the race on Fernando. That's Albon is the first car to pit along with Zhou. So we're seeing some action now on strategy front.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now let's
As you can see,
here's George Russell.
Russell just clean around the outside. Sebastian nowhere on the inside line. Race pace lacking right now. Not going to lie, but once we get to that soft tyre especially, that could be the game changer. Ricciardo's holding up pretty nice in that soft. Tyre wear is very low, so could be the play. Stroll also staying in this race in that soft tyre. Having said that, you know, we are lacking pace, but we could win this race if our strategy is correct and is on point. I'm looking forward to the soft tyre. Big time. Gasly pits. So we're getting movement. Alonso is a lap away from his optimal pit window. I've got him on aggressive to start pushing on tyres a little bit.
Now watch this. Here's Alonso's car.
Look at that horsepower this time. On the outside. Lovely move from Fernando there, getting past Verstappen. And looks like he's got himself in DRS range. Oh! Whoa, Verstappen!
Let's have a look. Now here we see Max Verstappen.
So Verstappen goes for a spin.
They spun the car. What a disaster.
Happy days, we'll take that. What we do have to do now though is push a little bit to catch back up. So we will set Sebastian to push here to try and overtake Russell.
So use energy. Copy.
Gets past straight away, wasted no time. Let's try and get onto Alonso and get the DRS. So Bottas is the next car to pit. The race leader. Interesting. Sebastian trying to push after Alonso here, but not a lot of battery or things to really play with. It's not going to be easy. Oh my god, another one.
So let's look at this. There's Sergio Perez.
Checo, Ocon.
And there it is. That's where they spin out.
Don't think there's any contact. But my god, that puts Ocon down the lead. Ricciardo behind him. Sainz down the mix. Alonso up to P4. Oh boy, this is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see if we can try and get Seb to latch on to Alonso here. Ocon pits. So Alonso will take the lead. So, with that in mind, you can see both of our drivers are 1 and 2 in this race. We're not going to one stop. It's not the better option. I'm tempted to put them both on soft, to be honest. We could probably make it work now with Alonso. We've stretched these tyres out long enough. Alonso drops the pace in the middle sector, but it's still looking okay. And Sebastian will take over the lead as Alonso comes in. So, let's see. Seb will try and stretch for a set of softs. Verstappen also pits in behind us. 2.8, so mid pit stop, nothing special. And we're going to rejoin then. Right in the thick of it. We're going to get the benefit of course, the pit exit to help us out. And we're going to be, oh my goodness me, right in the mix here with Bottas and the Alpines. And I think we'll just get ahead of Bottas, who's on the hard tyre. Everyone's on hard, so everyone looking at a one stop potentially here. So in that case, I'm going to commit here.
Everything you can, mate. Copy.
We're going to go full attack straight away and try and get these Alpines and drop them.
Overtake. Copy.
We're going flat out from this point on to the end now on the 2-stop. Looks like everyone's one-stopping, so again, a strategy offset as Alonso goes for it. Come on, Fernando, let's try and get these moves done. He's boxed in right now between the two Alpines, which is far from ideal. Let's reassess the plan. So we'll just recharge the battery a little bit here, get a full charge, and we'll try and push in a couple laps time to get by. Bottas gets through as well for good measure, which isn't ideal. Let's play a long game just for a little bit. We'll try to get back past in a moment. So Sebastian will pit this lap. We'll turn everything down and get some recharge going. He's going to go for the soft tyre, which is fresh, which is something Alonso does not have. And he should be behind the traffic, but he'll have the advantage of the soft tyre to try and fight his way back through. Not a good stop. Seb seems to get the slower stops all the time. 3 seconds on the nose. Hopefully you can just make sure he stays within DRS range for these first few laps. Get some recharge going and then we'll send him on his way. Okay, Alonso under pressure, so we're going to flip the switch and go attack and overtake again. Bottas is trying to make moves here. I want to try and get to the front of this train, but we need Alonso to get the elbows out, and it's important that he's efficient with his overtakes. He gets past Gasly straight away. Although Gasly fights back, which is not good. Come on, Fernando, we've got to try and get these moves done, mate. Come on, try and get these moves done. We need these moves. It's not happening right now. This is really frustrating. This is going to really hamper our 2-stop strategy. Kind of wish I put him on soft now, knowing that these guys are all on hards. Fernando tries again. Come on. Okay, he's got through this time. Can we get Valtteri as well? He won't have DRS.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Closing in on Bottas. Come on. Come on. Take the lead, Fernando. And there we have it. Fernando leads the race. Let's see if I can push Sebastian. New fastest lap, gets himself back in the mix. We're going to try and make a move as well here. We'll leave him on aggressive. He's going to clear Hamilton straight away, which is nice. Hopefully we'll get Stroll as well. Come on, clear Hamilton. Alonso's got the 1 second break. Sebastian goes through. Does Ocon have DRS? No, he does not. Sebastian still going at it with Hamilton here. But he does get by this time. Sebastian getting their move done on Stroll and Verstappen. Clears them both. Let's try and latch on to Russell up ahead. Catching back up. Ocon actually got the DRS at the perfect time there, overtaking Bottas and getting clean air in the process. And just catches it all back up. It's ridiculous how powerful DRS can be. Maybe we can try and break away from Bottas here. Well, I'm going to set Seb to push again. As Alonso battles with Ocon for the race lead.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position. Let's have a look. Now watch this. Here's Alonso's car.
Look at that lovely move. Outside to inside. Job done. Sebastian up to P6. Overtakes Russell and Ricciardo on that last lap. And now Sainz. So Seb on a mission. That soft tyre.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
That soft tyre looks good.
Now, let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
Around the outside of the final chicane and gets the job done. And he's now cleared Bottas as well. Okay, optimal pit window for Alonso. I'm going to push now and go for it. We're going to use up these tyres before we pit. So let's try and push back past these Alpines once again and try to see if we can break out into a lead and then hopefully pit and have a slight advantage. But we have to be efficient, man. We're not efficient. The Alpines are absolute rocket ships on the straight. You see Alonso doesn't even get close to making a move. So we're just wasting back for no reason. I'm not going to bother. We're just going to stretch for a little bit longer and then we'll pit for softs. I'm just going to go flat out in the last stint. Yellow flag, sector 2. Red Bull again. Checo Perez.
They've lost control and spun.
Right, I'm going to set Sebastian to push here. Alonso's going to pit. He's going for the soft tyre and then Sebastian will pit on this next lap. And we'll see what our boys can do from here until the end. Sebastian getting stuck in that soft tyre is working well still. Alonso 2.8 and rejoins on those softs. Sebastian can now pit on his in lap as we have a clear pit box, so we can go ahead and make him box. Okay, Seb's pushing and he's catching. We're now going to make him box. And that's going to be the soft tyre on for him. Now let's see if we hopefully have a decent stop for Sebastian. It is going to drop us out the points, but again, we're playing the long game here. Hopefully we can fight back. 2.7, good stop. That will drop him just behind Fernando. Not by much. So then we'll have them both working in tandem again, just like in Baku. Fighting our way back through the field together. That's the game plan here. I'm actually going to just drop Alonso back here a little bit to get Seb to close up. Alonso goes through on Checo in absolute conserve modes, which is insane. We'll now move him up to neutral. Right, this doesn't look good so far. I might have to go into overtake mode with Sebastian. Alonso to push on fuel. Let's try and pick up the pace here. 15 laps to go. Just trying to hold onto the tyres mainly. I don't want to try and burn up the tyres. I want to save them to the end, as they could be the ace in the sleeve that we might have to play in the final stages. But there we go. Seb does clear Checo. And we'll get into Alonso's DRS. Alonso looking to go through on Verstappen. Doesn't quite pull it off. It's time to deploy the battery on both cars. We're going to go for it here. Alonso up the inside of Verstappen. Alonso goes for another move. And we'll get the double. Meanwhile, Sebastian's stuck. So I'm going to just take a couple laps here to save with Seb. Alonso can crack on. Okay, final 10 laps of this race. Alonso now within Russell's DRS. So, let's switch things up. Sebastian needs to go and make some moves, so we'll go push with him now. So let's send it. As for Alonso, you can see behind Ricciardo and Russell. So Alonso now, I will just go harvest for half a lap or so, just to get a bit of recharge, and we'll try and get them both. So we're looking at P5 with Fernando and hopefully P8 with Sebastian. Seb gets Verstappen, which is good, so he's getting to work straight away. A double overtake would be ideal here, the most efficient way possible, and that's exactly what we're going to get as Seb blasts past both of them. We'll now put him on deploy to race after the cars ahead and try to drop the cars behind.
Aston Martin are moving up the field.
Alonso clears Russell without even pushing, and now we'll put him to try and pass Ricciardo. We've still got that tyre advantage, by the way. You can see we've got 20% more than others, so we're holding on to it for the last 5 laps or so. This race isn't over. Look at that, that's the lead battle right there. We can win this race. Alonso goes through on Danny. So now we're just going to take a few laps to save with Fernando here.
Keep doing what you're doing.
And then we'll just commit at the end. Give it absolutely everything to try and get past. Sebastian, new fastest lap, so that could be an extra point coming our way. Alright, Sebastian has also caught up, so we'll now put him into recharge mode. We're going to leave this to the last 2 laps, so we can recharge. Especially with Sebastian, he's a bit more down than Alonso. Alonso can win this race, absolutely. And Alonso actually passes Sainz. And is now onto Bottas in conserve fuel mode.
Here's the replay. Let's
at that.
have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
Horsepower, even in conserve. Absolutely insane. So Alonso is on a mission in this race. And look at this, he's now putting pressure on Bottas. We can win this race with Alonso, absolutely. We'll go in 1 lap's time. So we'll have just over 2 laps to try and win the race with Alonso. So 1 more lap of saving. Alonso's got past Bottas. Okay, we'll go balance for now.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position. Let's see what happened there. Now,
Without
watch
even
this.
pushing.
Here's Alonso's car.
Gets it done around the outside. Right, Alonso's primed to win this race now. He really is. P3. So, this is it. We're going to go full push now and give it everything. So we're going to prepare both drivers. And we're going to see, again, like Baku, late drama.
Do everything you can, mate. Copy.
Alonso getting to work straight away. Come on, let's try and get these moves done. Sebastian also getting to work. Hold on to your hat, folks. This is going to be intense. Alonso is going for it. Up the inside of Esteban Ocon into the chicane. He's now going to get the DRS on Gasly, who doesn't have DRS. Meanwhile, Seb gets past Russell and Ricciardo.
2 laps to go.
Alonso through the middle. 3 wide for the lead of the race. He's done it. And Seb's going through as well, but Alonso has pulled off an absolute weldy.
Good job.
Full push now with Alonso to break the DRS.
So this was the Aston Martin.
Look at this overtake. World class from Alonso. And he is on a mission flat out here, using everything he's got on tyres, fuel and battery.
Get the tyres down now. Okay, copy.
Meanwhile, Seb up to P5 has got past Carlos Sainz. This is where the action is now, baby. This could be a 1-2.
We can take a look now. Taking a look again, it involves Sebastian Vettel.
Look at that. Sebastian also showing off the techers. Ran the outside, inside through the next corner. Absolutely flying. The lean, green racing machines are on a mission. Sebastian gets up to 4th place. Alonso is just driving off. We could be looking at a 1-2 and fastest lap in this race. Bottas gets back past. So Seb will have to try and fight again. Alonso out of battery, but I don't really care. He's clear now. We need Sebastian to try and push on here until the last lap of the race. Let's see if we can get Valtteri. At least get P4. Come on.
We have low battery.
Nice. Seb through. Come on. Lock it in. Lock it in.
this will be last lap.
Come on, Seb. Gotta get by, gotta get by. Okay, he's through. Nice.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Alonso's got it.
Safe fuel, safe fuel.
It's all about Seb now. And he's on it. We're going to go deploy here to try and see if we can get by. And he's going to go for it. He's going to do it. For the 1-2 finish. This could be historic. I genuinely thought Baku was never going to be topped this season. And we're not only going to smash it,
Took a chance and it's paid off.
we're going to beat it in the very next race.
Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
Seb's done that move before. We got a double podium in Baku, and we are now on course to get a 1-2 finish on merit. The 2-stop has paid off. We went for it. It was the way to go. Just need Seb to hold on here as Ocon fights back with the DRS. And he does hold on. Seb's home and dry. Fernando Alonso wins in Canada. And it's a 1-2 finish.
Yeah, well done, guys.
Insane. Look at that sight. Alonso wins. Sebastian second. What a performance. What a race. And I think we got the fastest lap as well. The soft tyre was unbelievable. He's done it. Drink it in. El plan is successful. Alonso wins in Aston Martin colours.
What a beautiful sight that is on the podium. And a true crowning achievement for everyone involved.
I'm in shock.
Today's competitors gave it their all, but it's going to be those three taking home the big points.
I am genuinely speechless. What has happened? I thought Baku was going to be the one-off this season, the special race. And we've only gone and topped it and smashed it out the park in the very next one. And the car is completely the same. We had no upgrades. Sebastian got the fastest lap of the race. So it's maximum points for Aston Martin today. Are you hearing what I'm saying? What has happened in the last two races? Wow. Alpine third and fourth. Bottas fifth. Ricciardo in the points. Both Mercs 8th and 9th. Verstappen scores a point. But my goodness me. What a race. As for the championship, Alonso moves up to 6th. Sebastian into the top 10. And they're only 5 points apart. Which is insane. Only 2 points behind Checo. So yeah, pretty much from P5 down to P10, it's a 7-point gap. Which can easily change. In the Constructors, we're just 4 points behind Alpine, and we have clear daylight ahead of McLaren and Alfa Romeo. So remember what I said about the upgrades. The next three would decide our season. I don't even think we need the upgrades. I can tell you now, we're going to keep fighting this season because it's game on. I think it's P4 and we're looking at P3 now. Mercedes are just 18 points up the road. Let's keep pushing. Finally, look at that. Absolute huge points haul for both drivers. The biggest ones of the season. For the first time ever, we've got both cars in Q3. And we've now got a win and a second place, a 1-2 and a fastest lap. There's going to be payouts. It don't matter. It's a big payout. Lots of money. What a result. Aston Martin have won a race in Formula 1. I don't even know what to say. I'm going to leave it there. This episode's going to be long. We'll try and get the next one done on stream, which is Silverstone. We've got development points, upgrades arriving. It's our home race, and best believe I want to compete. So let's leave it there. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for this historic race. And there's lots of things in the pipeline. I genuinely am starting to think if the upgrades go away, and we're also going to invest in facilities in the next episode, we could just maybe be a regular race winning team by the end of the season. Dare I say make a late push for the championship. There's still a lot of races to go. We're not even at the halfway stage yet, so it's all to play for. But watch this space and stay tuned. As always guys, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already, and a massive shout out to the members, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.